Look, I know you're tired of all the false promises online and the methods of money making that only seem to work for other people that you see online. And you've already tried dropshipping, SMMA, affiliate marketing, and Amazon FBA, yet nothing stuck. And there's a very simple reason for that. You know, while all these guys online are preaching their business models, whether it's, oh, you should start an agency, you should start dropshipping, me and all the other people that are actually printing money are actually not focusing on starting businesses, they're actually focusing on a skill set. You see, in order to start a business, and you might have tried all these business models and failed miserably, you actually need skills. At 17 years old, I discovered high ticket sales, which is basically closing and setting deals for these influencers online selling info products. And my second ever month, I made $12,000 in commissions. My name is Wilson Peter, and I was in the same shoes as you, right? Since I was the age of 13, I was trying dropshipping. I was trying to start a marketing agency. I was trying all these things and nothing ever worked until I came to the realization, all of the guys that were preaching me these business models online, they all had one thing in common. They were selling a course, and an expensive course. So what I realized was all these business models work, right? Every single one you see online, they do work. People make money with them. It's not a lie. It's not some facade. They all work, but they all need a skill set in order to do. For example, if you're going to start something like a marketing agency, you need the skill set of sales. You need to know how to market. You need all these skill sets that go into one thing, and that's the business. Yet instead of focusing on starting a business, if you're a beginner, you should be focusing on skill sets, then lead you into starting a business. Because look, the online world is like a jungle. There's people out here selling courses on anything you could think of, including how to make money off of Fortnite maps. There are certain words that should just immediately raise a red flag. If anyone's ever offering something like automation or done for you, and this is super passive, you don't have to do any work and you'll just make money, get away from it. That's a complete scam. And if you're watching this video thinking that this is one of those things where you can just not do any work and make money, I'm sorry, you can leave the video right now. This actually takes hard work. And unfortunately, this isn't even one of those businesses where you can make millions a month. That's all I'm here to promise you. But you can definitely make your first money online within the next 30 days. And by 60 days in, start making your first 5K a month. What is high ticket sales and how did it allow me to go from a 17-year-old working at a restaurant making $12 an hour to making $12,000 in my second full month online? Unlike everyone else trying to start a business, I actually learned a skill set. You see, all these people selling courses online, they all have one thing in common, and they have an entire sales team in order to sell their high ticket product. These are products ranging anywhere from $5,000 to $25,000 to $50,000, and no one's just gonna click a link from their YouTube and pay. So you need an entire sales process in order to take that person from a viewer, a cold viewer that has no idea who they are, nurturing them and turning them into a paying high ticket customer. And it's not as easy as just getting on some call and reading some scripts and boom, now you're gonna make 5K a month. This is actually a real skill set that you need to learn and practice if you wanna be the top 1%. Because I'll be very honest, there's plenty of shit reps out there, there's plenty of them, but there's no good ones. Because the thing about sales and high ticket sales is you're paid in direct correlation with your skill set and your work ethic and the work you put in, and you're not just getting some salary like some regular other job. So how does high ticket sales work? Well, it's very simple. Step one is you need to actually find what are called offers. These are the opportunities and the gurus online that will actually take you in and have you sell their high ticket products. So first we have, and this is the first stage of the sales process, is we have the appointment setter. Basically, the appointment setter's job, and this is honestly one of the most crucial parts of any of these organizations, is they're actually conversing with every single lead that comes in, financially qualifying them, learning about their goals, and then they're gonna go ahead and set them up on a call with the closer, the sales rep, which is like a 30-45 minute Zoom call where they go ahead and they walk through an entire process in order to hopefully get the sale. So once you get hired by a company, let's say for example, you get hired by a day trader that has millions of followers, he's gonna have all of the people that follow him reaching out and opting in, putting their information to learn from him, right? Whether it's a mastermind, some sort of mentorship, they're gonna be reaching out to him wanting to learn the skill that they have. And this works for anything, right? It could be for a day trading coach, someone teaching Amazon FBA, whatever it is, every single niche has some sort of guy selling a course on it. So once these people, these viewers, watch this person's content, they opt in, they put their information in, they want to learn from them, that's where the appointment center comes in. So typically, I'm sure you've seen it online, someone say they have some sort of free training, link in bio, or DM me the word trading, whatever it is, and then it leads to you putting in your phone number and email. That's what's called a funnel. So they're having you opt in to their funnel, their sales funnel, and when you opt in, you're getting sent into their CRM, which is the software they use to call people, text people, and you're having an appointment setter call you up. So what does the process look like from going from someone that has no skills, like if you're watching this video right now, that's probably you, going from zero skill set, zero knowledge when it comes to business, to going to someone that within the next 60 days can start making an extra 5, 10K a month? Because that's exactly what I did. That's exactly what plenty of students that have gone through my mentorship has done. Someone like Tan, who's making 5K a week at just 14 years old, or even Connor Kranos, who literally went from a corporate 9-to-5 sales rep making 5K a month to making $30,000 in commissions 7 months in. And the cool thing is unlike all these other corporate jobs, you're not just tied to like listening to some boss. You can work on your own hours, set your own schedule, take calls whenever you want, and make hefty commissions. And as you scale up, you can go from being an appointment setter, actually setting up the appointments, to becoming a closer and closing more deals and getting more commission. Because typically a setter gets anywhere between 5 to 7 to 10% commission, and a closer gets anywhere from 10 to 15% commission. But I typically recommend people start with setting because it's a lot easier than closing, and it makes it a lot easier to transfer to closing eventually if you've already done setting for a decent amount of time. And you might be wondering, okay, Orson, this sounds all cool and all, but how come these businesses are willing to pay these young kids so much damn money? Well, it's very simple. These guys are printing sometimes millions of dollars a month, and they'll happily give away 10% of the revenue if they're getting in deals. Because think about it this way, no guru or someone that actually has a big following is gonna wanna be hopping on calls all day, every day. They don't have time for that, right? Sometimes there'll be on one opportunity, 50 calls booked in a single day, and they have like 3 different closers. So but there would be no possibility where a guru would just take 50 calls in a day, which is why they're outsourcing it to you, and in exchange for your expertise and your skill set in closing and setting the deals, they're gonna give you 10 to 15% commission. So let's say this, let's say that you're closing for a clothing brand offer or an e-commerce offer, someone teaching someone how to start e-commerce, whether it's drop shipping, clothing brand, whatever it is, it doesn't matter what it is, you can plug and play any offer, it works the same for every single offer. Let's say someone's selling an e-com offer, so how to make money with e-com, right? What's gonna happen is they're gonna have the closer that's gonna go and walk through the entire process, the framework with you, and try and close the deal. And let's say they're charging $5,000 for this program. That closer is gonna get anywhere between $500 to, on the high end, $1,000 for just a 35 to 40-minute Zoom call. And the best part is you don't have to worry about fulfilling for clients or anything. All you have to do is just hop on already qualified calls that are on your calendar set by the appointment setter and just close the deal. And the cool thing is once you start ramping up, you can start taking more and more calls, and you can just start making thousands of dollars a day. Because it's a no-brainer for these business owners that already have thousands of followers to give you a small, basically, chunk of every single sale in exchange for you completely dominating when it comes to sales and closing every single deal. So how can you copy exactly what I did and in the next 90 days start making anywhere between $5,000 to $10,000 per month by just taking a couple calls every day? So month 1, you need to master the fundamentals. You need to learn exactly how these buyers think, how these viewers think, and what actually goes into turning them from a viewer into a buyer. You need to practice your scripts until you can literally know them like the back of your hand. That means writing them down, role playing, even speaking to yourself in the mirror until you know exactly what to say. Another thing you can do is you can review other people's calls. So if you're part of like a mentorship or like networking program where other people are doing exactly what you want to do, and this is probably the #1 way to fast track your success, you can actually watch what other people do, like other people's actual calls, and learn from them as well along with the coaching. So after month 1, you've done all your training, you've ran mock calls, you feel confident, you know exactly what to say with your script, whether you're setting or closing. That's when you're gonna start applying to offers. So there's 2 different ways you can go about getting an offer. Step 1 is the free way, and step 2 is the paid way and the mentorship route. So step 1, if you want to go the free route, and I tell everyone, like, you can do this stuff for free. You don't have to go pay for some course. If you want to go for the free route, then all you have to do is just DM these guys on Instagram, ask them to work with you. There's lots of ways to go about it. What I used to do is I do this thing called the ads method, where you'd actually scroll through Instagram ads all day and you just reach out to all these gurus online. I'm gonna make a separate video on exactly how to do that. It's gonna be linked up here, but if you want to learn exactly how to land clients that way doing the ads method, that's a very easy way to do it without having to pay any money, without having to do like any sort of course or anything. So the other way on how you can land these offers is by joining a mentorship or community. And there's tons out there, right? People will train you up and they'll go ahead and put you on an offer. They usually have a vast network of people. Just be careful with who you pick. Some people aren't as good as they say they are. I also have a mentorship too, Thumbr Academy. You can check it out in the link in the description, but you can also just go the free route as well. Yeah, so month 2 is just gonna be basically ramping up to KPIs, doing exactly what works and actually getting used to the offer and used to selling it. And one of the key ways to actually learn and get better when it comes to this is by just actually doing it, getting thrown into it, by actually implementing it. Implementing stuff is honestly one of the best ways to learn, because now instead of speaking to fake prospects like you were in month 1, where you're doing mock calls, whatever it is, you're speaking to real people that are gonna give real, genuine objections, and it's your job to handle them and get the close. And guys, at first you might be nervous, right? It's a little nerve-wracking hopping on calls with random strangers and pitching whatever it is you're selling, but just think about it. You're probably never gonna see them again, and they're just random strangers on the internet that are reaching out to you for help, right? When I first started closing, I was always scared because I was 16, 17 years old. old, I'd be getting on call with 40-year-olds and closing them into learning TikTok affiliate or whatever it was. And I was always nervous because it's like, I'm 16 and they're 40 years old coming to me for help. So you always got to think that way. There are people older than you that will be coming to you for help. And that's why you always have to speak with a lot of conviction and a lot of confidence. And that's probably one of the number ways to get the sale, is having conviction in what you're selling and selling the right product, right? You don't want to go out and get an offer that's a complete scam because you're not going to have conviction over it. If people aren't getting results in whatever you're selling, you should leave it immediately because it's not ethical, it's not moral, and sometimes it's not even legal. Okay guys, so month 2, obviously you're not going to make 10K your first month. I have seen like certain people actually do that. Someone like Hamza that's been in my program and Morris, they both made I think like around 9K their first month. It's very unlikely though. It's probably not going to be you. It's only in certain cases. Really good offer, really good skill set, and just a tiny bit of luck. But for the most part, by this first month, by this first full month on offer, so month 2, you should have had your first sales, you should have gotten used to the offer, and you should realize like, damn, this is actually something I want to do, and this is something I can make a lot of money from. Because the main thing, and especially when you're getting into like new like business models and skill sets, is that proof of concept, right? The number one thing, and for me, like let's say when I was 13 years old, if I had made money drop shipping, that would be my proof of concept. I probably would have gone full into that, and maybe I'd be posting a video on how to do drop shipping. But instead, I didn't get that proof of concept. I didn't see the money coming in, so I just gave up after a couple weeks. But the thing about this is it's very cut and dry. It's very easy. Once it's very systematic. You get the training, you get on an offer, and if you do exactly what you're supposed to do and what you train to do, then you'll make money. It's not like luck of the draw, like, oh, maybe I have to test out this product, hopefully it does well, or oh, the market's not good today, so I can't day trade. This is a very systematic approach that literally works on every single offer, and it's basically the same sales process that's used in every other business. So by month 3, and this is after all the training and actually getting onto an opportunity, you should just be doing exactly what got you to that first $1,000 and multiplying that by 10 to get to your first $10,000 month. This is going to be being consistent with taking calls, doing dials, and closing deals. That way, by the end of the 90 days, you can hit your first $10,000 month, which I've seen plenty of times. I even have a couple students, people that come to my mind are someone like Morris. He did, I think, like 9.4K his first month. Someone like Hamza as well. His first month on an offer, he made 9K as well. So it's definitely possible. I'm not saying this to be overnight. You're not going to probably do 10K your first 90 days. That's just the goal of if you do everything right and you follow the system step by step, that's where you should be. And guys, once you start making all this money, you can eventually transition to getting on multiple offers at once, right? Meaning you're working for multiple offers at once, you're taking calls from multiple companies, and you're just making more money. Because what you can do as well is you can hop on multiple offers at once and just kind of pick and choose whichever one you think is going to make you the most money and whichever one you resonate with the most. And guys, if your goal is to replace your income or actually start having an income if you don't have one right now, you need to treat this like a serious career, right? This isn't some sort of side hustle where you can just be 1 foot, 1 out, not 100% in. You either got to go 0 or 100% into this if you want to make the most money. Because like I said before, there's plenty of people and plenty of sales reps in the space that are fine with making 5K a month, right? They're fine with making 5K a month, an extra 5K a month. Oh, I'll do this after work, whatever it is, I'll do it on the side. That's completely fine. If you want to make an extra 5K a month from your phone or from your computer, then this is something you can do. But if you want to be in the top 1% I was talking about that are making over $30,000 a month in commissions, you need to treat this like a real career and something that you need to go full force into. And guys, don't expect this to be like some linear road, right? I kind of broke down the system that's worked for me and it worked for many others, but for some people, we all move at different rates, right? Maybe you already have sales experience and maybe you're starting from 0. You're obviously going to move at a different rate depending on the person. And guys, the second month where you're on an offer, you might come over a lot of adversity, right? There might be people giving you objections that you've never heard in your life. You might not know what to say, and that's exactly how you learn, right? Is by doing. So once you learn and you actually are on an offer and you're hearing things that you've never heard before, you can actually learn from those mistakes. You can go back and do call reviews if you have a coach or some friend that actually has a high level skill set. They can actually review your calls, tell you what you did right, tell you what needs to improve on. That way, when you go into the 3rd month, you're closing a lot more deals at a lot higher close percentage. That way, when you encounter that same objection or same obstacle again, you know exactly how to deal with it, which makes it so you can make more money and have more freedom. So why does this work while seemingly for you, every other business model you try completely fails? Well, for starters, there's no startup cost. Unlike Amazon FBA or dropshipping where you need to buy a ton of inventory, then sell it on fucking Amazon, or if you're doing dropshipping, you need to blow money on ads and pray for the best and hopefully it sticks. This skill set requires 0 startup capital. If you have the skill set already, you'll literally just get paid for it. What you do need money for sometimes is for coaching, right? right? To actually get advanced coaching so that you can have a higher skill set and make more money. But the actual skill set itself, you don't actually need any money to start. The second thing is there's no like product creation, right? You're not the actual one that's like creating the product and worrying about fulfilling for clients. All you're doing is getting on these calls, making commission, and that's it. You don't have to worry about getting on calls with these clients, making sure they do well, whatever it is you're selling. If you're a marketing agency, you're not going to be the one in there running the ads for them. All you're doing is getting on these calls, closing the deals, and getting a commission. The other thing is no traffic generation. Guys, you're not having to do cold calls and reaching out to random people to turn them into leads and hopefully buying customers. All you're doing is you're taking calls that are booked on your calendar, and you're working with influencers that already have a lot of traction, a lot of followers online, which are just sending you inbound warm leads that are honestly just begging to be closed. And the final reason, and honestly this is one of my favorite reasons, is this is just a completely recession-proof skill. Guys, sales isn't going anywhere. No AI or robot can replace human-to-human interaction because it wouldn't feel genuine and no one would actually buy. Which is why if you're in an industry then you're worried about your job getting replaced with AI, or you're worried about, oh, I'm a coder, my job's gonna get replaced with AI, this is something that's literally never gonna go away and is gonna be here for decades and years to come. So if you're ready to go from zero, having no skill set, making no money online, to making your first 10K a month by the end of the 90 days, and you're actually ready to take action and not be stuck in the same situation you are right now, whatever it is, maybe you're in college, you're in high school, you have a job that you hate, and you actually are ready to take action, fill out the link below. You can go ahead and apply for my mentorship program, Thumber Academy, train you up. We place you, we do the whole 9 yards and actually get you to that $10,000, $15,000 per month. And if you don't do that, well, you don't pay. So you can go ahead and apply down below. Then again, if you don't have the means to go ahead and invest in mentorship, guys, stick to the free stuff. There's plenty of free content out there to help you guys out. That's only for really like the 1% of people that are actually willing to take it seriously and want to go all in.